Also coming up in the next hour of the show, we're going to meet the Worcestershire businessman Simon Lancaster, who's giving back to a city that he says helped him establish his insurance company. The way he's giving back is by helping others to get started. Have a quick listen to this.
I found myself unemployed at the age of 23, and I decided to start up my own business, SGL Insurance, and I was lucky enough to be given a local grant from the council, £500, which enabled me to get a desk and a chair and a computer and start my journey, and they gave me a little bit of mentoring as well, and I think that help was invaluable for me. 20 years later, I wanted to sort of replicate that, if you like, and pay it forward and help other people who find themselves in a similar situation that I was in 20 years ago.
And that's exactly what he's been doing, but there is a twist to the tale. What's the twist? Well, you'll find out. You'll hear the full story in about half an hour's time on BBC Hereford and Worcester. Coming up next on the show, join us in Worcester, where we're not paying it back, no, we're paying it forward with pizza. I'll tell you all about it. The story's coming next. It's 25 to 12. How often in life have you paid it forward? What do I mean when I say paid it forward? Well, I mean that someone's helped you get somewhere or helped you get something in life. So later down the line, you found a way to help someone else in the same sort of way. You've paid it forward. It's the simple idea behind the SJL Foundation. That's a charity started by Worcester businessman Simon Lancaster, because he believes that he wouldn't be where he is today with help or without the help of the city of Worcester. They gave him a leg up when he needed it, and now he's helping other businesses to grow and asking them to pay it forward to help others in return. Our reporter Justin Surrell has been along to meet Simon and one of the businesses he's supporting this morning. It's the Urban Village Pizza, which was initially set up by two brothers who lost their jobs during the pandemic.
Well, Malcolm, last time I was standing in front of these two pizza chefs. I was standing in a car park under a gazebo, and they were just starting out, but now we're in their new home. We're upstairs at the Oil Basin pub in the centre of Worcester, and the pizza oven, I'm told they've still got those portable ones they were using as they were going around doing their little pop-ups, but now they've got they've upsized it. It's made of, is that made of clay there?
I think it is, yeah.
It's a clay oven. It's absolutely massive, and they've got a nice warm kitchen to work out of as well. But recently they've had a bit of a leg up, a bit of a help from Simon. Now, Simon, what can you tell me about yourself?
So I started SJL, well, actually similar to these guys. I found myself unemployed at the age of 23, and I decided to start up my own business, SGL Insurance, and I was lucky enough to be given a local grant from the council, £500, which enabled me to get a desk and a chair and a computer and start my journey, and they gave me a little bit of mentoring as well, and I think that help was invaluable for me, and I'd like to think the return on the investment for Worcester's paid dividend, because we're employing lots of people, we're bringing people into the city, people are eating in the city, stopping at hotels in the city. So really 20 years later, I wanted to sort of replicate that, if you like, and pay it forward and help other people who find themselves in a similar situation that I was in 20 years ago. So we set up the SGL Foundation a couple of years ago with the purpose of raising money from all of our networks, and we hold an annual ball in Worcester at the Bank House, which is on the 1st of April next year, to raise money, and then we distribute it to two causes. Half goes to Acorns, the local children's hospice, and the other half goes to give out grants and mentorship to business startups. So we just had our latest round of finals, and these guys impressed us really with their story, how they came out of adversity and lockdown and doing great things with a vision and hard work. And so they were the winners of Best Pivot Award, and we met in the House of Parliament last week and gave them the grant, and looking forward to seeing them drive it forward to the next level.
And I've got to ask, what was it about Joe and Josh that you looked at and thought, they've got something here, I believe in them?
I think the combination of skills, obviously with the chefing and the marketing skills that they've combined, I like the way they've done that, and they've sort of been quite innovative in this sort of thing. The pop-up restaurant is quite popular down in London, but there's not much of it in Worcester, so it's quite innovative. They're working hard, lots of long hours with a good vision, Similar story to my own 20 years ago, like I say. So I think the whole story and package that they put together is very impressive, to be fair.
You mentioned you used the term "pay it forward," and that's really interesting to me because I just love the idea of someone who's gone through that and has sort of made a success of themselves, then looking at, well, what can I do for the next generation of people who are going to go and have this story as well? Do you think that's important, that people who have been successful are looking for opportunities where they can pay that forward?
Yeah, definitely. That's the concept, and what we're trying to do is encourage all of our grant recipients to pay it forward again when they're in a position that they're able to, and they sign a pledge. It's not legally binding, but it's a pledge of honour, if you like, that when they're in a position to pay it forward, they will help the next budding entrepreneurs in the years to come. So hopefully a bit of a craze starts. Yeah.
Well, that's it. So you're basically holding to it, saying, when this is global, when you're one of the biggest employers, go in and you've got branches of Urban Village Pizza all around the world. You've got to look for opportunities to pay that forward as well. I mean, without that initial help for you mentioned about someone paid it forward to you when you first started out.
Yes.
Would it have worked for you, do you think?
Who knows? But it would have certainly been a lot more difficult. I didn't have any money at the time, so it helped me out in that regard. But also the mentoring, really. I'd never run a business, so a bit of mentoring on simple things like bookkeeping, tax returns, employing people, things like that was invaluable for me, really. So the mentorship, I think, was just as important as the money, and it really just did give me a leg up, yeah.
Well, Malcolm, pop back a little bit later on. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Simon. Mark, pop back a little bit later on. We're going to be catching up with Joe and Josh, hearing about the last 12 months for them and what sounds like a big roller coaster, and bringing their pizza to the people of Worcestershire, and now we're in their very own kitchen. So pop back later on.
Oh, we certainly will. Just in Surrey there with Worcestershire businessman Simon Lancaster. He's passing it forward. The city of Worcester gave him a leg up. You never forgot that. And so now he's giving another business a leg up. Joe and Josh from the Urban Village Pizza, in the hope that Joe and Josh, once they're on their feet, will pay that forward and give somebody else a leg up. And so it goes on. We'll be back with Justin after the news at 12 o'clock.